Okay, yes, we're recording. So, now that everyone is basically here, we were thinking of running a impact calc tournament, which basically is a really good skill practice for weighing, whether you're like a first or second speaker, like weighing is super important for everyone to learn. So, is Saturday a better day or is Sunday a better day for you guys?
Sunday.
Can you guys put it in
Sunday.
the chat? Just like put whatever day.
What time?
Or actually, okay, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm seeing mostly Sundays from 4 people. What time would this take place? Probably earlier in the morning, so like we can get it done with, or it could be starting in the afternoon. But it just depends on, okay, so would it be better if we started it at like 9 a.m. or like would it be better if we started it at like 12 p.m. or like 3 p.m. for you guys?
I don't want to wake up early, so probably
neither.
3 p.m.
Okay, so you guys don't have anything to do in the afternoon, right?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, and this is just a one-time tournament, so it's just gonna be really quick. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. So we're probably gonna start. Okay, how about 12 p.m.? I think 12 p.m. is late enough, right?
Can we do
This
3
tournament
p.m.
about?
Because I usually sleep until like 10 o'clock a.m.
Yeah, so 12 p.m. would be a good time to start. So I think we're gonna do 12 p.m. We might just start it at 1 p.m. This tournament is a weighing tournament. I'll talk about like the specifics later, but just like to see your availability if I can hold this at all. So we're probably gonna do it on Sunday, either starting at 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. And this is an impact calculation tournament, which is basically instead of like having a topic that everyone has, we're just having a no, and this will be math, by the way. Instead of having like like a topic that everyone has to debate and you're like neg or af, everyone gets a different impact. So like for example, eradicating racism could be your impact, or maybe like nuclear war could be your impact, right? And the point of this is, I mean, obviously it's not like a full debate like with like the entire speech times and like everything. It's probably it's like half the times for everything, and it's one person by yourself, right? But this will help you guys like weigh impacts against each other, right? Like so for example, if you were weighing like racism against like nuclear war, right? Like you could be like, well, racism is the worst form of oppression and it's like the root cause of war or something. So if we get rid of racism, there won't be wars. It's like a prereq to wars, right? Or we're solving for their impact. So like that's why you should vote racism. And basically this will help you like implicate impacts that you do have like in real when you actually do have around, and you can also weigh impacts, right? Like, oh, nuclear war has like super low probability but it like causes extinction versus like something like I don't know, like a worldwide recession, which like happens probably like super often, right? So stuff like that. So you're like weighing your impacts, and all you have to do in like preparation for this is write like a 2-minute constructive about your impact, right? Like if it was nuclear war, you just find some cards that say like nuclear war means extinction, and then you'll be like, good. So that's that. So now let's talk about impacts. Let me just give me a sec. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so these are the impacts I have so far. Wait, Hannah and Sabine, can you guys give me a couple more impacts? Because I think there's more than just 6 people.
Wait, I'll find a list.
What about like famine? I don't know.
Famine, the Yemeni war.
Actually, wait, yeah, I think like proxy wars, right?
Proxy
Like,
wars.
Nuclear war is already on there.
yeah.
I feel like it'd be hard to weigh a proxy war against nuclear war. But I mean, possibility.
Poverty?
Cyber attack.
Poverty.
Well, that's like world recession.
Cyber attack.
Yeah, you could just do.
There's no more electricity.
There's like no impact to that, but
No, you don't
So
have
cyber
electricity.
war. Okay, cyber war with all countries.
The grid shut down.
Curing COVID-19?
Oh, would you guys
Pandemic.
like to debate that? Okay, pandemics. Would it be curing it or like?
Probably like
Stopping pandemic.
Wait, for these, are we doing like they solve for it or they cause it?
I
You're
mean,
just comparing the impacts.
yeah, like you don't actually have to read a case where you like
So what's the impact of a pandemic compared to world recession?
a world recession is going to lead to poverty.
But there's
And
also like the
increase, like-
inherent probability, right? Like, because I want them to like weigh like nuclear war. The probability is really low, but like extinction is obviously infinite impact.
I mean, if you think about it, like there's other ways you can concede the impact of nuclear war happening without conceding the impact of extinction, right? Like you can read defense on the impact itself
That's true.
without negating whether it happens or not.
So are we just fiating?
Yeah, so we'd say nuclear war happens, but since diplomacy and globalization kicks in place, you only exchange 2 nukes before we solve.
Okay, sure. So I think this will be making. Yeah, you can say good and bad for any of these. I mean, obviously, don't say like racism good. That's why we put eradicating. But I guess you could say climate change good if you really wanted to. Like it'll solve for something else. Overpopulation. I don't know. You could say nuke war good. You can choose if you want AF to trigger it or if you want neg to trigger it. Like you could say nuke war solves for climate change on your side, so you're winning. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. We need 2 more.
I think there's some people that aren't here though.
Destroying the state.
So like no government, anarchy.
well, I mean, you can make a new government that's not the state.
So destroy like America, the government.
Communism.
Okay. Wait, that's just Chinese hedge.
No, it's not. There's no such thing as a real communist state.
Okay, sure. Communism across the world, I guess. Takes over world.
They're
Okay.
all doing it wrong.
And then we need one more.
A sustainable agriculture.
I feel like that'd be hard to weigh against the rest.
Wait, but also when you say communism, do you mean like the concept of communism?
Yes.
World War
Like
III.
it would work completely?
Like the idea of like traditional Marxist communism, yeah.
Just
So
like-
it would. You're assuming that the ideal situation would take place.
But everything that comes with it would also take place, like the revolution to like kill the bourgeoisie, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not just like market socialism, right?
Yeah.
There's like
The whole
a
government.
legit state. There's probably going to be some like repression of free speech, like that kind of thing.
Okay, one more.
Schools, remote.
Bioweapons.
Yeah, nuclear terrorism.
But that's like nuke war. But I feel like bioweapons is like cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Anyways, okay, so I will. Here, how about this? Everyone can look at the list and like choose one that you want the most and just like put it in the chat and we'll see like if there's any overlaps.
What happened to famine?
Famine is world, like it's part of like world recession. 9%.
Can you guys zoom in? Oh my god, Suba.
Has everyone chosen one yet? Oh, I can't
Not
even.
quite.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. I think. Okay. Is there anyone left who still hasn't picked one? I'll assume that's a no. So let's see. Bees, extinction, pandemic teams. Climate change, bioweapons. Wait, actually, cyber. Okay, never. Wait, what? Nuke war slash communism. Okay, so Suba wants cyber war. Got it. You can have cyber war. And I'll like post a list later. And then okay, Jacqueline wants space colonization. For Natalie, the ones that aren't picked are eradicating racism, climate change, world recession, Chinese hegemony, pandemics, those ones. Kathy, is it okay if I give you communism and then Jerry can take nuke war?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay. Beautiful. We love
Now,
communism.
let me be 110% honest with you. Like, the Chinese hegemony argument falls through pretty darn easily.
It's like fiated, so I don't know like how would it fall. Okay, so Jerry is for which ones aren't picked? I picked climate change, yes. Climate changes. Oh, sorry. Vishnu picked climate change.
Also, is it just me, or is like the text like microscopic?
Sorry, Natalie. Cyber war is also taken by Suba. So can you choose a different one? I like cannot zoom in. What is left? Okay, so there's eradicating racism, world recession, Chinese hedge, pandemics. Did someone pick bioweapons yet? Oh, Suba wanted and bioweapons. Yeah, no one's okay. So Juliana gets world
But like
recession.
bioweapons, but like bioweapons
So Natalie, would you want eradicating racism, Chinese hedge, pandemics, or bioweapons?
So I'm really glitchy, so I can't get into the chat. But by pandemics, like, does it mean any pandemic in general, or just?
Yeah, like you can like solve for all pandemics in the future, or you're like the app is gonna cause like all pandemics.
Like COVID?
Yeah, including COVID. So like.
Okay, can I have
COVID.
pandemics?
Yeah, okay. But like obviously you don't solve for past pandemics. You can be like all the future pandemics will be solved by me. Okay, that's not like okay, so I think everyone has one. Wait, actually no, there's like 3 more left. That is strange. Okay, Troy, have you picked one yet?
Just wondering, what do you guys mean by fiat? As in, like, so let's say I have communism, right? So am I going to be weighing the impact that communism is already existing in a country, or communism is going to be in a country, or communism isn't prevented, or what was it?
You would weigh like you'd weigh like the benefits or the harms of the impact depending on how you personally look at it and what the impact is. You weigh that impact compared to another impact. So you
Okay.
assume that everyone's won the link level of the debate, and there isn't going to be a link level of the debate, so there's no resolution that you're debating. You're not like proving that the impact's going to happen. You assume that it's proved that the impacts are going to happen, and then you compare them to say why you would vote for one impact over another.
Okay.
So with the instance of communism, you would probably say like communism like would be happening in every country, and then you would say like either the benefits or the harms of that.
Okay, so it's already given to me that like communism is everywhere.
Yeah, you would just assume that like you've won the argument that whatever scenario happens in your world leads to everyone having communism in every country, and then you would compare like that impact to another impact.
Okay, sounds good. So the probability is 100% because it's already going to happen.
Yeah.
Got you.
But
All right,
like
thanks.
the impacts that you talk about of like communism might not be 100%, right? Like we all agree that communism happens, but it doesn't mean like like it's like perfectly Marxist. I mean it is, but like it doesn't mean like no one's dying or like everyone is gonna die or
So
something like that.
so you weigh like the link
Nuclear war?
probability.
For something like nuclear war, are they already provided that nuclear war is going to happen?
It doesn't
Yeah, so
like
basically
there's
you're like nuclear war happens, but you can read impact defense that's like even if nuclear war happens, it's not that bad, or even if nuclear war happens, it's not going to cause extinction. Like the impact is a given, but not the like terminalized impact.
Yeah.
Wait, can I make a comment?
Sure.
Okay, so I heard something about communism, and I have a genuine question. Like, how does that have like anything to do with the topic? Like, even if you're able to prove that it would somehow happen, like, how are you supposed to prove that it's bad?
You don't have to prove that it's bad.
You can say it's good.
You can choose like depending on which which thing you're assigned, you can choose whether or not you're saying in my world this happens and it's bad and we need to prioritize, or in your world this happens and it's bad so we need to prioritize voting for me because it doesn't happen in my world, or you could choose to say this does happen in my world and it's good so you should vote for me. You can do either.
All right. Okay.
Yes. I think Daniel, Faith, you haven't picked one yet.
No, I have not picked one.
Yes. So would you like Chinese hegemony or bioweapons?
I guess bioweapons.
Okay. Is there one more person? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there anyone else who hasn't gotten one yet?
Lyndon Johnson was there.
Oh.
Wait, I don't understand. Are you supposed to assume that it happens?
Yes. So you assume that, okay, for example, Troy would assume that he eradicates racism, and that's going to be good, because you're going to solve all of poverty. Like maybe he goes for that, right? And like poverty is the root cause of all wars, so he solves for all wars. And then you can say like yes, you do eradicate racism, but that doesn't mean you like automatically lift people out of poverty, right? Like sure, people aren't racist, but the economy still sucks or something like that, right? Like so the implications of their impact that they read to you can debate that, but you can't debate like whether or not it happens, right? So like you can't be like, oh yeah, Jerry, nuke war is never gonna happen because no one wants to like make the world extinct. But like no, like nuke war does happen, but you can debate like whether or not it causes extinction. Does that make sense?
So you're trying to say that it's good.
You can say it's good or bad. Like you can be like nuclear war good because we'll solve for global warming and global warming will cause extinction. But you can also be like nuclear war bad, right? Like, oh, in your world you're gonna cause nuke war. So like that's why we should prefer my world. Does that make sense?
Wait, so if you're arguing for nuclear war, you're supposed to say that it's bad?
Okay, you don't have to say whether it's good or bad. The whole concept of the case that you write is you say, 1, nuclear war happens, and 2, this is the impact of a nuclear war, right? And then basically the whole point of the impact calculus debate is to take the impacts that you've basically said, like this is the impact of a nuclear war, and you compare it to the person that you're debating, and you tell them why a nuclear war is going to be a much better or much worse impact than their impact that they say is good or bad.
So you could say that your impact is much worse than the other person's.
Yeah, so if your impact is like space colonization, for example, you could say space colonization is a bad thing, and the impact of space colonization is bad, and the bad impacts of space colonization outweigh the impacts that they talk about for this reason.
So probability won't be a question in this at all. Like it's
No,
not.
No,
that's-
so it's
that's not
100% space colonization happens, but it's not 100% that the impacts of space colonization are a sure thing. For example, you can go like space colonization will cause extinction because there's going to be like satellite wars, right? But space colonization won't necessarily lead to satellite wars. So even though space colonization is conceded, the impact of space colonization is not. So you can read defense on that. Or for example, like nuclear war. Nuclear war is 100% guaranteed to happen, but it is not 100% guaranteed to be good or bad.
For my topic, which is pandemics, if I want to write about COVID-19, should I say like how to like stop COVID, or should I say like that like stopping COVID is bad?
You
I
can
don't really
choose
know.
like how to approach your impact. So basically, you just need to find an impact that is related to a pandemic. And if you want to talk about COVID specifically, then you would just like find evidence that talks about what the impacts of COVID would be if it went unchecked, basically.
Oh, okay.
So why does it matter which one you get?
You mean which impact you get? Like, it's just which one
Yeah.
you'd like to debate more, right? Like, personally, I would probably think like researching about cyber war with all countries would be fun, but maybe I don't want to like research about bioweapons because I don't think it's interesting like that. But there's also like, it's like a different thing. So like whatever you're more comfortable with or you're more interested in, that's why we have like different impacts and people choose different ones.
And also, how many cards do you have to write for this?
This is just write like a 2-minute constructive. So whatever you can fit in 2 minutes, go ahead.
Can you also give like an example in the chat or something? Like an example speech for us to reference?
Yeah. Here, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so this was one I did on space colonization. Okay, well, look at that free prep for y'all. So I had cards, but obviously I didn't cut them, right? So I say space colonization, like this is all I had, right? It's only like 193 words in 2 minutes, right? So I say space colonization is good first for quality of life because we like can mine phosphorus and we're running out on Earth. And then second is extinction because the sun will blow up. And if we don't move off the Earth, we're all gonna die. So that's why we need to do space colonies in other solar systems. And, that's my impact, right? Solving for extinction. Does that make sense? It's like very short. Okay, does anyone have any questions before we move to breakout rooms and do a bunch of weighing? Okay, so I'll just assume everyone's good. And they're recording.